Ooh, testing 1, 2. It's gonna be loud. Just give me a sec.
Stream element spot running robot face.
Okay, we need to test 1 mode. 1, 2. Test 1 mode. 1, 2. Yep, okay. A little bit better. Thank you, Stream Elements bot, for running robot face. Yeah, that might have been a little bit loud at the start. Sorry, folks, for that. And let's switch to face cam, I guess. Hello, folks. It's me and Biggie, and I'm back, and we are live.
Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy, manna. Thanks for joining in on the stream. It has been a hot while. Hopefully things will return somewhat to normalcy, but that's more of a hopeful thing than anything. But my old caretaker's back. He's doing okay. What else is there? I think that's pretty much going to be as much as I'm going to address about that. Yeah, but anyways, hope you didn't miss me so much. The other thing is, if you know Charlie, the streamer, I went and commented on his video about there's this.
Hello, Biggie and the early Manda. Great to hear about your caretaker.
Thank you, Myth. Yeah, but I went to comment on Charlie's latest video. Moist Critical, I think you'll know him by, and basically his take on the accessibility of Final Fantasy 16. And there was a kind of like and his outrage on the tweet regarding, was it a tweet? Yeah, regarding the accessibility options of Final Fantasy 16. And there was this basically this dude who made a video saying that, oh, you could just beat Final Fantasy 16 with just one button. And it's literally an item that actually it has like a really robust action RPG system, but you could actually equip an item to be able to click repeatedly just one button to handle all the combat for you. So if you're not capable of doing actions like that, you'd be able to enjoy the game of Final Fantasy just by button presses, right? Like pressing a single button, right? And then there's like some hot takes on the on Twitter saying, "Oh, Final Fantasy 16 so easy, you just gotta push one button, and then you win."
That's a story mode accessory. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And there's a couple of like really bad, really awful takes. And then he was just so outraged by it, and he didn't know if it was anything. But anyways, I commented on the video saying that, oh, thanks for showcasing accessibility on video games, because I didn't know about that. I didn't know like for me, I was just going, okay, Final Fantasy 16, another action RPG that I won't be able to play and put it aside, right? But now that they said, okay, Final Fantasy 16 has an accessory that increases accessibility, I said, okay. I just basically said thank you for sharing the video. It got me interested.
You have the option to play the game as an action game mode. It's not like you're stuck with the easy story mode. You have a choice.
Yeah, exactly. Just unequip the item and then you'll be able to enjoy the action. But yeah, I just went and thanked him, and then a bunch of people upvoted my comment, right? And I just got like a bunch of subscribers on my channel. So that's what I wanted to say. So, you know, like this dude subscribed this. A bunch of you, like General Eric and Junbi and Nexer and Kublo and Caleb. Yeah, I got like almost 100 subs just from that video, just from that comment. Yeah, so pretty awesome. But if any one of you are actually watching this as a VOD, then thank you for being here. And if you are actually joining in on the live stream at any time, I'm not sure when, but I'll just let you guys know that text to speech is on. I don't know why I actually have to say that, but okay,
You
yeah.
do have a bunch more of subscribers. Very nice, good for you, you deserve it _Biggie support.
Thank you, Mana. But that being said, I have a couple of things I wanted to try out, and one of the things I actually, when we last left off, right, we had a blender show up. Guess for which character, man? Guess blender showed up for which character? But yeah, so I just rage quitted. I guess you can probably guess.
Iskandar.
No, not Iskandar, Sapphire. But yeah, close enough. One of the only few characters that actually didn't require magic. Like, not a magic build. But yeah, I decided to say, okay, fine. We'll continue this next time. So, I did a couple of things off camera. Well, not regarding Unlimited Saga. Or one thing regarding Unlimited Saga. And I decided that this episode from this episode onwards, up until the Secret Adventure, we're going to randomize all of
I know it was Sapphire. I thought you were talking about a reroll you did.
No, it's not. It's not Sapphire. No, it's Sapphire. Yeah. But because I remember you were going to bed. All right. Which slot is it? Slot 3, is it? No, slot 4, I think. No, it's slot 3 for... Yep, okay. That's set up properly. So without further ado, let's go ahead and switch over to the PS2 screen, I guess. And before we continue, thank you to all my members: IP Lux, Renamanta, Cipherville, Doug Bolden, Rafael Vega Chapa, and RL. I'm not sure you still want us to be called RL or Remy. So let me know that over there as well. But resume. Much better. Send tobacco. Phobia, pacifist, monger. Yep. I can't remember if I stated at any point or not. That's going to Yeah, but yeah, we're starting off with this. Druidical Scroll. I'm also needing to check if anybody has swimming. Oh yeah, Anzan does. So since we have swimming, we could actually uh, don't have to actually worry about not getting the skill we need.
How are y'all doing today? While at work today I got to drive past a house that was surrounded by police cars as there was a hostage situation going on.
That
That was
sounds
something.
amazing. Okay, metal and staff arts. And throws. Do I want staff arts on Anzan randomly? I don't mind. Bunch of level 4 arts on you. And some level...
Doing good. I went to a yard sale and saw a Nintendo Switch Lite that doesn't work and someone thought it was a good idea to drill holes where the screws would be at to try to open it.
Drill holes.
He then hot glued the sum of the holes.
That's probably not very good for your Nintendo Switch, I would imagine. Darn it, it's just that we're not getting any panels at all. That's going to be worth resetting for. Earth
I later
Familiar is
learned
kind of
from my
nice.
brother that lives nearby that this was the third time this year that has happened to that specific house.
Wow. Um,
Also, all the screws are missing.
wow. I guess that's whatchamacallit. What's the term for it? I can't remember. Something like um some sort of syndrome. I can't remember what it's called. No, Duncan-Kruger effect is in
I
full
bought it
gear.
for less than $20 SE. I can sell it for parts, lol.
Yeah. Let's hope that you could actually sell it for parts. Yeah, we're not getting... Oh, okay. Earth Familiar is actually pretty good. It's more useful than Aura anyways. If we put it here, it's going to be a decrease in stats, generally. We're going to do a line of keys anyways. So I don't mind replacing
The
that.
cheapest I see for a Nintendo Switch Lite for parts is around $70. So I think I have a good chance to. It depends on how the broken conditions are.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. Hopefully you find something that you'd like. Okay, we've got a familiar. That's good. We have X arts randomly, which is fine. We could just replace the kick panel. Eavesdrop, Monger, Maharaja. A slight decrease in strength. That is fine.
My
Architect.
brother was able to buy a collector Nintendo Game Boy SP from a flea market for $30 when they are going for $90 on eBay. For mine, it's just that it's missing screws, have drill holes, doesn't charge, and doesn't turn on. All the buttons seems to work, none of them stick. Can't tell if the Joy-Cons have stick drift.
You probably want to check out the Joy-Con drift as the well. I think drifting could be solved
But that'll be
by
something else for the restoration guy to do when said person buys it.
yep. Oh, hope for the best in getting that sorted. Okay, let me think. Yeah, this is a decrease in bow art, so we're not equipping bows on hero anyways. Locksmith, diffuse, sharp eye. It's fine. We could go with the random. Oh, we could go with the random swimming skill. That's fine. And a random obstacle crossing skill. Right, I'll change this to growth panel completed. All set, maybe? Yep. Thank you for the market rank increase. Yep. Now let's continue on the game. And before we continue on the game, I'm going to switch over to something I've prepared earlier. So going to click on screen share.
$70 sounds fine. The guy that is selling it for $70 already has the right Joy-Con stick broken off, so mine is kinda better. $70 is a dime starting point. I'll lower it if it doesn't sell.
It's a dime starting point, isn't it? But yeah, we have over here a random picker wheel. And we're going to actually pick our next side quest. So let's just go ahead and do that right now. Yep. All right. I guess Night Desert is our next quest. So I'm just going to hide that. And switching back to the PlayStation 2 screen. All right. Okay. So that's good. Right. I'm going to leave briefly, of course, and I'm going to go to
Fly by Night Desert away from here.
haha. Head over to Tribal Chief's trial very briefly.
Yeah, swap meets can be a good place to get a handheld for a cheap price.
Yeah, well, actually, for me, the US is such. It's let me just sort items first here. The thing is not very common here to have those kinds of swap meets. Although there's like a bunch of people selling very specific stuff in secondhand markets. In fact, I think there's a whole quote-unquote market area over here in Thailand where it's like a there's a kiosk. Ooh, obsidian. Nice. There's a kiosk downstairs. Just need to make sure that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 steel, 1 iron. Every random bit of diamond. Did we have... Yeah, 1 random bit of mullock. Yeah, so we could make some more stuff if we want, but like I said, we're at the point now where we don't need to buy anything except for pieces of armor that might be good. But over here in Bangkok, there's a area where it's like you either go into a large mall where it's just a bunch of antiques and collectibles, or you go into those areas that people just rent with a bunch of. Let me just see if there's any bits of mullock here. Of course, it's going to be the male, but yeah, there's a bunch of little kiosks that's been set up. Or there's either the bunch of people who basically set up shop downstairs of antiques and stuff, and they live upstairs. So it's like it's where they live, but they just plop a bunch of stuff for people to walk by and buy stuff. However, I'm very I think what happened was those kinds of areas is where like people set up shop back in the day, quote unquote. And once they set up shop like that, they bought the property where they live like really cheap. And they own the property. They don't have to pay anything but electricity, right? So they decided, oh, might as well set up a mom and pop shop downstairs so they could earn money while they live there. But I don't think they're making very much. Right, these things are interesting because they have skill saver. We're still missing a couple of bits of armor here. Come on, Kimbali. You usually have something very nice to buy. Yeah. Of course they had to be Marcasite. What else did I expect? Oh, as a side note, right? Spent some time beefing up my world building in my game. So, yeah. And it turned out that just give me a second while I just look through here if there's anything worth buying. No, I don't think. Last place. Yeah, I spent some time beefing up the world building in my little game. Anything worth throwing away? Little bits of fur, I think. Oh, we already have a bunch of corpses.
Did you accidentally remake the plot of an obscure JRPG that was sold only at a single gas station out in the Japan countryside?
I probably have, yeah. It's real unfortunate. Yeah, it's I accidentally remade uh by coming up with like a storyline that I'm happy about. I accidentally came up with basically a proxy for Iskandar in my game now. There's actually a hero.
What game is that?
No, it's no, I'm just being sarcastic. But yeah, probably some sort. It's probably a Japanese obscure RPG with a something square stuff the Enixy title, or maybe some sort of but more likely something from like RPG Maker that's created in the 2000s.
Oh no, Iskandar has plane traveled again.
Yeah, but mine's a woman, uh, uh, and her eventual sainthood. So nothing similar, nothing too similar actually. So I basically wrote a story about how this one person traveled across traveled all across the land and created a
Joan
new
of Arc.
religion. Well, not quite Joan of Arc. Well, to be fair, the person I created also was a martyr. So she died as part of one of her 7 miracles and was anointed saint, thereby reforming the religion of the human people and creating a new 7th element, which is the element of the word. But yeah, I okay, let's go ahead and do the Night Desert quest. I think that's the one that we chose, right?
Someone based on Joan of Arc?
Not so much based on Joan of Arc. Joan of Arc's more of a what I would equate like yeah, I think saint. Yeah, I'm not sure if Joan of Arc became a saint afterwards or not, but for her, it was more of the things she did in battle, right? Right, Night Desert. Night Desert. A merchant crossing the desert during the night was attacked by a mysterious shadow. Merchant was able to escape the desert.
How was your day?
Was hello, Nerweho. I'm doing well, thanks. I'm just started streaming earlier and playing a little bit of Unlimited Saga and just sharing about the characters that of my well, I'm in the middle of writing something for to world build on a game that I'm working on. But yep, it's avoid the shadow, recover merchandise. There are some feathers, 5 of them. But we might want to just fight the beast anyways. I'm going to switch briefly to the window that I had opened earlier. So that I go to the side quest with the Night Desert. course. Okay. Because I actually need to remember where all the various things are. So it is switching over to the left, far left, and then straight, top, left, and up. Okay. Did you get to know me from, like, how'd you get to know my channel? Just let me know. Are you one of the few folks that were here from the comment that I posted on Moist Critical's video? And if so, welcome. I'm just playing a little bit of Unlimited Saga right now, which is an old school RPG that not a lot of people appreciate. I've forgotten if all of our guys and gals have this is 27, 51. Yep, let's just go ahead and use the boulder. $52, 94. Yep. Slep. I'm not happy that these wyverns are showing up over here. They're a little bit low level for my liking. And the problem with the night desert quest is that it's a one single big map. So it's unlikely that we're going to have very strong monsters. But we could spend a lot of the time fighting the beast as well. That's going to hopefully work out. Degeneration X, break it down. Holy Cell. Double checking our magic tablet status. Making sure everybody's learning. Okay. Let's head this way. Hello, Beasto. We're gonna get level 3 tablets if things continue as is. But that's fine. We'll get stronger tablets soon enough. But yeah, back to the story of my life. No, the story of my character. I think the random name generator from ChatGPT came up with the name of Zara Tawana. And the story of how she became a saint of the Anzanian people. Yeah, the random name generator thought up the name of the people to be Anzania. So I said, okay, fine, we'll take that. Let's take that and take it and roll with it.
Anzan will always be remembered.
Yep. But anyways, Anzania, the capital of the people. Um, Die? Much better. Yep. The capital of the human race and the human world. And basically, she traveled all over the world to basically give, I would say, like okay, this is going to be problematic if Anzan's just going to take the slot like this. Because we don't have a lot of turns to rest up in this particular quest. But anyways, the people of it had to somehow make sense that a like a religious prophetic figure showed up to reform a religion that already existed, but at the same time had to do what? Had to like basically transform the world. So how I came about is that in the beginning there were 6 elements, right? And 6 deities, like 6 major deities. And the travel of Zara Tawana, or Saint Zara, became the turning point for the human Anzanian race. Because before she was saint, like people existed, but they were in a fractured state. And like I started off with her end that she was assassinated at the end of her journey, and like usually because I said that people who are super charismatic and influential, right, usually end up sacrificing themselves or becoming a martyr for a cause, right? So I thought it kind of appropriate that we need to rest up with Anzan. That at the end of her pilgrimage or quest to the various lands, that she ended up being martyr, like becoming a martyr for people. And basically she spent her like all of her life across all the various different lands of the people, trying to foster peace where there hasn't been. And basically she created the peace between various different people and tribes and races. I'm gonna use the feather for now, because yeah, we'll try to spend as many turns as possible Yep. Great. Retreating feather. Okay. And she went around and gave different races different things. So, for example, she gave the oh, darn it! Should have used something a little less damaging. Like she gave her first place she traveled to was the Beast People, the home of the Beast People, and
Did she give the rings of power, but made one in secret to rule them all?
she might have. We don't know about that, but there is definitely some sort of conspiracy surrounding her martyrdom. Not Locksmith or Sharp Eye. We wanted to use Fortune Teller from Hero because he's the most likely to get something. Yeah. Let me just slowly make sure everybody gets a shot in. Don't. Okay, good. But yeah, she went first to the Beast People when she was like, when she was young. And she, in the story that I wrote, she went with her parents. And due to some sort of, like they were part of the missionary, they're on a missionary mission. Yeah. The church of her people was going through reform, of the Anzanians who were going through reform, and basically she was on a, I think I need to state the importance kind of the. Okay, let's fight. And I was struck from behind. Wonderful. But I think I mentioned earlier that faith in the world of the game I'm creating plays a much bigger role. Because of the ties of faith to magic. And since magic exists, people were a lot more kind of tolerating, not tolerant, but I should have used the, what's it call it, zapper. All right. Let's see if Iskandars can throw. Sapphire could also use Power Shot, so she could use her Zapper. Denewed. Yeah, but there's a bunch of people who are... Okay, goodbye. Thank you for the Marca suit. Yeah, faith is actually it's a pretty important thing because people use magic, right? And creating a new religion must be like a really, really big deal because it means that there's a creation of a new whole element that will upset the balance of things, the way things were. Okay, good. But in the story, I had Saint Zara travel around, and when she was young, when she was 14, I think, he went
What's your
on.
favorite game?
Oh, this is pretty much my favorite game, Unlimited Saga. Um, in terms of the relationship I had with this game, I played this game for a very, very long time. It was pretty much, but it's pretty much love hate though. Unlimited Saga is notorious for being like unforgiving in the West because it's the kind of game that people expect you to. Is one of those games that need a manual that didn't come with one. That's a lot of enemies. But yeah, I do expect to know everything about it, like, and come with a manual, and the manual explains everything. But of course, over in the US, it didn't come with a manual, like, or a guide. And this is back in the days where games are kind of expected to have a lot of replayability when you buy it at full price. And the creator of the Saga series is notorious for being super experimental with this game. So it ended up being basically this game was trying to catch up to the expectations of what RPGs or JRPGs are of the time, but at the same time it kind of received like it was trying to catch up to, say, what is the game called, Final Fantasy X. So I went back and played Final Fantasy X. You could see that the Final Fantasy X had a bunch of firsts for the PlayStation 2 era. It had like voice acting.
I knew we could depend on you.
Well, I'm not much for speeches, but
Cutscenes, animated voiceovers, and yeah, a bunch of really. Okay, the one that really stated, check out the power of what the PlayStation 2 can do. This is a newer generation of gaming. Like, behold, this is the exclusive crowd seller, and this game even came with a. It came with a manual, not manual, a copy of Final Fantasy X-2 trailer. Yeah, because people like, and a lot of people back at the day said that people only like. I only bought Final Unlimited Saga just to watch the trailer for Final Fantasy X-2. It was that bad. Like that's how strong of a mainstaying power that Final Fantasy had. Okay, let's fortune teller one more time. Regardless, the thing is, I was playing this game for so long because it was so unpopular, and people couldn't figure out how to break it. Like I couldn't figure out how to break it. Out of all the games back in the day, right? I was a typical teenager.
I paid $60 for a game to see a 1-minute trailer for some upcoming game. Boy, that is such a stupid thing to do, even for 2003.
No, it's the stupidest thing to do, especially for 2003. But most of the day, people, well, back then, didn't buy a game; they rented it, right? I forgot to use sleep. So people rented the game for a weekend, try it out, watch the trailer, said, okay, wasn't very good. And that's usually how people enjoy RPGs, right? Back in the day. And people don't have time to invest into, say, a guide and
Internet
stuff.
wasn't as much of a household thing yet, so you didn't really go to the internet to see a game trailer.
That's true. And I remember correctly, back in those days, the only, well, why am I missing? Of course, I had to miss here as well. That's good enough to kill it. Anyways.
Computers did exist, just wasn't at that extent yet.
Back then, I think the scene that people were at was emulation more than anything, and people made quite a fair bit of money selling. Oh, over here in Thailand, anyways, people made quite a fair bit of money selling physical guidebooks, like unofficial guides. They just made a couple of screenshots. Said, "Hey, I know Japanese. I'll just write up this guide, like completely illegitimate guide." For a game that I think this is the spot. Yep, that's the crate.
In Thailand language.
Yep. Yeah, it happened like in Thai language. And it was lucrative enough to do. And you could still buy these items off like on the market today, even though it's completely illegal. Or to be fair, more like it was a violation of copyright. The extent where people looked up guides was probably GameFAQs.com. That's the as far as those guides get. For the West. So I think when Game FAQs rose to prominence, which is late 2000s, that's when Unlimited Saga started to have a resurgence. And like I said, I was one of those teenagers who, or just one of the, I was in my teen years, so I basically wanted to cheat my way through the game. That was my thing. I used, I'm not sure what it's called in the US. I think it's called Game Shark or Game Genie and Action Replays. I think those are the brand names. That's what it's called. Of course, I had to miss. Yeah, and out of all the games that I was playing,
Yup, those are the names.
those are the games that I was basically playing back in the day. The items I was using. Anyways, I basically used all those stuffs to basically run through JRPGs because I wanted to see the story, and basically it was a form of really cheap entertainment. Like, check out the story, the storyline, and basically all that the game had to offer in that sense. Like, I wasn't like feeling like up to the challenge of you have to beat the game legitimately, because back then RPGs are like, especially JRPGs, is not a difficulty thing. It's about, okay, I managed to, it's about how many hours you put into it, or how much you grind. Like, the more you grind, the easier the game became, right? And using Game Genie or Game Shark, Action Replay, using all those kinds of things just circumvented the need to do that. So basically, I could enjoy the story of the game without having to grind for it. But Unlimited Saga became one of those elusive, I can't seem to grind games. And like I said, there were no guides for it. So it kind of stuck in my memory as this game that I was never able to beat, despite having being able to cheat the system. Like the closest thing that I had to any kind of guides for Unlimited Saga back then, like back when I was like early 2000s, right, was what was the thing? 99 LP code. Because this game didn't use experience points. And when the game didn't use experience points, I went, I said, okay, how am I going to cheat the system? And even at I had 99 LP, I still need to.
No one said that fighting slimes increases the enemy rank back then.
Like, the game actually had a hard limiter on being able to like finish it. Like you actually had to spend time to actually enjoy what the game has to offer. And eventually, I started to understand the game system, and I became kind of obsessed about how nobody came up with a guide on the panel system at all. Wow. That was a loot of damage. Like, it's like, how will people figure out this stuff without a guide? And that was incentive for me to actually write my first guide. It's still up on Game FAQs and it's still incomplete. And it's still horrible to look at because it was just a bunch of text. Right, so I'm gonna save state here because there's a magic tableau. This is level 55, which is unfortunate. Let's use diffuse. Of course not. Fortune teller. You no longer have fortune teller. Let's fight. But yeah, that was the extent of how this became my favorite game. Anyways, if I head back and talked about, say, the storyline of my Zara, I think she was part of a band of missionaries that went to the Beast region to spread the older, like the Anzanian religion during its reform. I'm not sure what to call the religion yet. I think the ChatGPT came up with a couple of names. It was some. I wanted to name it after some name conventions that refer to the word or something similar to that. But yeah, I haven't decided yet on what to call it. Regardless, let me try to actually spark an art with Roy here by comboing into him. But yeah, she went to various different peoples and given various different things. The two that I've written down so far, no, the three that I've written down so far, with the beast people and the insect people and the humans.
Name for the religion you are creating.
Yes. Could be anything. I'll just look up ancient Egyptian names and just pick a random one. Is it gobbledygook or gobbledygook? I wonder. Wait. Why are you learning Fireveil? Have you learned... Did you already... Circle noise. A boulder. You already know fire arrows. Oh wow, that was a waste. This could have gone to someone else. Oh man. Oh well.
It's gobbledygook.
Okay. Right. So let's see if we could try my luck. How unlucky. It's supposed to be this little area, isn't it? Oh, it's one further up. There we go. This will actually finish the quest. So I'm going to save over here right now. I should have saved on a different slot. So if I finish this, this is going to be wood artist. Okay, too bad.
Interesting fact, Egyptian mythology put heavy emphasis on the power of words. They say that if you said negative things or wrote down negative stuff, it could manifest the negative energy into reality.
Yep. Use retreating feather for now. That's a bunch of birds. But yeah, that's a pretty full emphasis. So I thought that would actually make sense to, say, include anyways, yeah, ancient Egyptians, power of the word. So I created that.
The creator God created reality with the power of speech, and the more negative parts of many Egyptian myths were not written down for fear of manifesting the bad stuff into real life.
Yeah, that is actually.
That would be an interesting mechanic or plot point where the Egyptian MC have negative thoughts and it affects his world.
The thing is, I've decided on the setting of this world, like currently being the introduction of the modern era, like the start of the modern era. And the start of the modern era is defined by
Not even enough to work up an appetite. That's what you
whatchamacallit, the invention of flight. I think that's the important thing. It was the invention of flight, the discovery of the oil refining process, World War One. I think the seminal event of the game is the First World War and the end of what people call humanism.
It's simply that the MC is Egyptian and follows Egyptian religion.
Yeah. Egyptian like, yep. The I think I also created that I could read out some of the excerpts that I've written down, but I'm gonna save first and see what kind of panels are popping up here. Level 3 ones. Fortune teller, no. Quick fix, so no.
It would be interesting to see though, an Egyptian main character.
Yep. It is, yeah. So basically, since the third character, no, the seventh element is the element of the word, right? I just that it would make a lot of sense for them to be like for based on Egyptian mythology, but a kind of strange reformation of the, like, instead of being mythology, it became like a religion of sorts. Like that would kind of make sense. I'm just looking through the uh, list of things here to see if there's any magic blender. Nah, doesn't look like it. That's unfortunate. Diffuse. Diffuse is kind of nice. But yeah, there's some sort of religious reformation that happened, and they were trying to spread a whole new religion, which is, like I said, it's a big deal in the world that we're coming up with, because coming up with a whole new religion means coming up with a whole new element, or to be more exact, it's like vocalizing the existence of a new element where it didn't exist before. Okay, so we're getting fortune teller and diffuse. Those are relatively important for Anzan. Spear arts would be kind of nice. Architect, diffuse. Oh well. Eavesdrop and spear arts. Well, we good. This is probably as good as it's gonna get. Let's go ahead and pop down kick over here. And maybe punch in the middle. And we could pick diffuse instead of aura. Or this will pop earth up very high. Yeah, let's do that. Spear arts is fine. We're not particularly needing you to learn anything. This is just replacing the axe arts to increase the strength. Maharaja is interesting. Water familiar? No. Actually, water familiar to replace. No, we don't have the architect skill. Just to replace the metal familiar for now is an interesting choice. Eavesdrop and spear arts. Yep. Okay. Final confirmation. All set. Save. Over here. And we could do one more quest as well. But yeah. I was going to share that her first... okay, let me just switch over to the picker wheel here. And switch over to screen share. Hello. Hello, Infinity. Ad infinitum. Nope. That's my Discord. Nope. Okay. Time to spin. Lucky glyphs. Fine. We'll hide you. Okay. And then switch to the PS2 screen. Wonderful. And anyways, I'm just going to resume here. If you're here and you're enjoying yourself, feel free to say hi. I do have text-to-speech on, so be mindful of that. Please don't say anything too obscene or I'll just get cancelled straight away. Other than that, feel free to say hi, voice yourself and stuff. And welcome to the stream. We're just playing a little bit of Unlimited Saga right now, if you're curious on what's happening. And we have a randomizer wheel going on which quests we actually have to do, because we're in the middle of completing side quests. And I also probably need to update what? This. Okay, go to properties. I'm gonna wait. Not alerts.
That roulette wheel reminds me I need to check in on Neopets.
Uh-oh. Yep. It's not doing what I wanted to do. Alright, properties. I'm gonna change it down to 17 because we're doing lucky glyphs, and that is just 2 more side quests down. Pressing OK. Heading to the inn. I think checking in on Neopets. I'm not sure if it's a little bit late. Is that where the sound notification came from? By the way, because it would be kind of nice if it is. And I wonder, like, how much of it was memeified, if that was the case. What I mean by that how many generations of memeing did it get before arriving here on the wheel? All right. Anyways, what was I doing? Oh yeah, looking for anything that's worth buying. What are you buying? But yeah, the okay. So anyways, the story of Saint Zara, as I wanted to try to tell it after losing my train of thought for the umpteenth time, was that she traveled first.
I have no idea, but I feel like someone with enough influence could really cash in on the nostalgia money and try to revive Neopets.
I think if they want to cash in on something, uh, um, I think what they cashed, what they actually cashed in on nostalgia is something along the lines of the mobile game market.
Someone with enough money.
Well, you need to be able to buy the license. If you want the money nowadays in microtransactions, you know that. Make that killer app. Iron X, lead, silver, quartz, cups. I want to sell some stuff as well. What do I want to sell? So some leftover
This
things.
used to be a problem sometimes. Sorry to interrupt you as soon as you were about to continue with game story.
No worries, no worries. Yeah. As I was saying. Yeah. The game story was that first when Saint Zara was 14, she went with her parents on a missionary mission to spread the word, quote unquote, to the beast people, right? And unlike missionary missions, where the aim is to spread religion as the main goal, the idea, the missionary mission to spread religion is quite an ambitious one, especially in that in the world that I'm creating. Like I said, it is equivalent of creating a whole new element that didn't exist before, and with enough persuasion, like there could be enough agreement that people could have of in that belief, rather than the is not such as in the whatchamacallit religion, like in the real world, the religion stuff, where you're trying to do that to say make people believe you. It is more of a case of having enough word spread about your religion that it remained in circulation, that they have enough respect that it should be included in the pantheon of deities, right? So she was off on the missionary, like on the mission with her parents, and her parents somehow goofed up and got killed right in front of her. And she begged the Nyxborians, or the beast people, to let her give funerary rites to her parents. And what she did was she did it through song, right? And if you remember me talking about the beast people, is that their religion is to do with fire, but also death. So she was able to touch the hearts, basically, of the beast people. Let's see if we could actually trade bits of meteorite here. For this corundum. See if we could make a shield. And uh, in uh, my world, like the growth of the Beast People culture or the Nyxborian culture were stuck in the Middle Ages because they were unable to create any art. Or basically, art didn't exist. And the concept of art and humanism and self-expression didn't exist. And because she was there and was able to create something out of nothing, like that's the theme of her miracles, right? Like she was able to give art to the artless. She was able to like communicate what art is to people without art through her singing, you know. And then through that, the Nyxborians went through a rebellion where they used to be like a kind of militaristic serfdom. And then they went through a rebellion, and now as they're about to enter the modern age, they're now like a democracy because they overthrew because the existence of art kind of messed with their idea of like and I wrote down the first miracle of Saint Zara was she gave the Nyxborians a heart so they could express themselves. And yeah, so that was pretty cool. And then I said, okay, so what are some other things I could give to some various peoples to be able to like gain, whereas before it didn't exist before them before. The next obvious one was the concept of language itself to the insect people. And I named the insect people Ka'ab, right? And I'm not sure what it stands for in the Mayan culture, but it's K apostrophe AB, Ka'ab. Anyways. Oh, I actually have to see if I could finish Lucky Glyphs in less than 15 minutes. I think I might be able to. Depending if I actually fast forward or not. Okay, Lucky Glyphs. Find the good luck pattern.
In Yucatec Maya, Kayab means hand.
Oh. That's cool. Didn't realize that. But yeah, so the ant people, I went to research the insect people, and I basically went and deep dived into the animal kingdom and ants in general, right? So I think since you're into the whole pest control thing, Manta, then you probably know about ants. Is that they're basically their entire colony almost is all female, because males don't like males in the ant kingdom don't really exist other than being vessels for like genetic code or genetic material. And they have flying days where the newer queens like mate in the air, so it's pretty cool. But that point being said, So I basically created a society in. What was I doing? Okay, magic tablets, tablet. I basically created a society where they have kind of a
Just
semi-hive
look up
mind.
what master means in Yucatec Maya and you'll have a master hand character.
I guess so.
Master Kaib.
But I think Kaab is a pretty cool name already in terms of flavor-wise. Okay. How many? Yeah, you have plenty of charges. Boulder. Throw. Boulder. Boulder. Slip. Yep. So basically, they have kind of a. So before the Saint Zara went and met with the Kaab, they were more like they were less of a people and more like these really mysterious group. This really mysterious group of underground ant people, and people don't really know about like their society, right? And then she basically went and undertook the mission to translate the language, like the scripture of her religion into something the Kaab would understand and have like a breakthrough in communication. And after a little while that she was there, like a few of them noticed, and basically slowly but surely, no, actually it wasn't quite slow, because it was like there was an instantaneous moment where all of them was able to start communicating to humans in like a kind of a rudimentary language. And it was at that moment that they discovered that they have a kind of hive mind that they could disconnect and connect to at any time. Like it's a semi-hive mind, right? Basically like the internet, but with one. But basically they share a conscience, and they could sometimes disconnect. But why they could disconnect is going to be explained later. But anyways, I have to make sure that I'm able to complete all the little quests here. Bestow. And so when one of them learns the human language, all of them did. So it's like a real miracle. Like how, like overnight, they were able to just suddenly communicate with an entire race. And I think I wrote down the Zara, like Saint Zara gave the Kaab a voice, so they could speak with others. It was one of her miracles. And it was really cool because as soon as that happened, they discovered the fact that they live in a really strict caste system, like ants do, like normal ants do. They have a queen, and they have a caste of like workers, gatherers, farmers. Workers, gatherers, farmers, soldiers. Very, very strict caste system. But the cool thing about them is that they could switch whenever they want to any other role, except for maybe the queen. I also think, okay, we do have a character with swimming, don't we? Otherwise, we're wasting our time. Yep, okay. All right, Anzan. Get to this opening. And that was one of the things that I was trying to come up with.
I just imagine when they switch their bodies mutate to suit their new role. The soldiers would be larger and stronger. The farmers would have longer limbs for reaching and so forth.
That would be a nice, cool little animation, right? And they switch, they have a noise going. I kid. Yeah, but anyways, they could switch between different roles. And what happened was, as soon as a language was introduced to them, a whole new role in society was created, which was they named themselves the envoys, and their purpose was mostly to communicate with anybody who they come in contact with. And that was the gist of what it gave the insect people. I'm also, just as a side note, I was in the middle of coming up with the idea of giving out various people various things, right? Came from, I was looking up civilization civics, and I was looking up civics of the Renaissance. As an era. And so the civic I gave these people was humanism, and the one that I gave the insect people was diplomatic service. So the idea of diplomacy. And I haven't written this down quite yet, but what I was planning for the amphibian people was that originally they were basically sea locked. They had their own little kingdom going on across the oceans. And if you know something about amphibians, right? They are notoriously bad at adapting. Like there are very, very few toads, for example, that are able to handle salt water. So imagine them being locked within, like despite them being adept at river stuff, being in rivers and marshes, they can't handle the ocean. So they basically are stuck inside their own little enclave. And basically, Prince Zara just gave him the gift of circumnavigation. So she arrived there on a boat. They know what a boat was, but they wouldn't dare go across to across the salty water where there's death. As curious as they are, because they know that as soon as they fall into the water, they're dead. And there was like a bunch of different living things in the water that they are like, so they become stuck or land sea locked, not landlocked. Let's try fortune teller for you. And her arriving on the island itself and teaching them how to construct vessels that could navigate over the sea. I think like navigating by stars maybe, or circumnavigation, and the idea of exploration. And it just ushered in the age of exploration for the toads or the amphibians. I need you to use aura once. And sharp eye, maybe? Yeah. So that's why the story behind whatchamacallit, our toad is basically piracy on the high seas, which ties in nicely to what and I think what I wrote down as an idea is like Zara gave them feet. So they could explore. And it ties in nicely to the whatchamacallit people. The reptilian people. Because I think it would make sense for them to
imagine a boarding crew of frog people who leap a large gap between ships as a boarding crew.
Ah, that sounds cool. That just sounds so cool. And it's like a bunch of them just on a springboard, right? But then that would actually be super risky because they would die if they fell in the sea. They must have come up with some sort of technology to survive the water, at the very least. A very sus crevice. And the middle, I think. Oh boy, that's a bunch of you. Big fish.
Who the heck are you?
It's a pretty big fish. But yeah, that would be pretty sick imagery already. Kill as much as you can, but just leave enough alive for us to... Okay, that wasn't enough alive to do something, but that's fine. And it ties nicely to the reptilian people, because I imagine alligators as the only other reptile native to water. And unfortunately, thinking about it real quickly, as cool as a thought as an alligator thief would be, it makes no sense in terms of, well, if we're going to follow things like natural physiology. Because if you want, because alligators are not reptiles that are super adaptive, or they're not like, how should I say this? I don't think I would imagine crocodiles being agile and dexterous. The only reptiles I would think about that would probably be lizards, like geckos. So unfortunately, we actually have to follow the conventional trope of lizard men. But we also have a pretty good idea of turtle people. Touch the murals. Cue the Boydie. Bowl there. Bowl there. Bowl there. Bowl there. And you can have your power shot. And she gave the... And there should be a couple of... I think the ruling class would pretty much be turtles. And reason being is that because turtles live the longest in the reptilian kingdom. That's pretty much it.
Well, you should consider the basic risk. Not the mythical creature, but the actual lizard that runs on water by having large feet that disperse its body weight over a wider surface of the water.
Yep, the I think it's nicknamed the Jesus lizard or something as well. I like that little guy too.
Instead of water, they could be good at running across the desert sand.
There's plenty of animals that could run across desert sand. But the idea is that she gave the reptilians hands, and it could be like a not so much a slur, but a saying that came with the event, because the thing that she would have brought over to the reptilians would be trade and mercantilism. The idea that because the thing that happened during this time that a lot of superpowers started to do would be, I could even just have them introduce the concept of money or the concept of currency, or even worse, the concept of banking. Like that would like drastically increase the ability of the the reptilians to trade and make money. Yeah, just giving them banking. That would push them straight into the modern age. So, yeah, banking, trade routes, and stuff. And our little hero in the beginning could be starting to rob a bank and stuff. You know, on theme. Okay, let's go drop by with one of you.
A tortoise never has a hand to spare. A disparaging remark against the mercantile tortoise people. A way of saying that they are too greedy from carrying their money that they won't help others.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you. I'm keeping that. You do know that I'm keeping that. Also, I've forgotten about... Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I was going to switch over to my picker wheel. And maximize. Side quest guide. I just need to be sure on the exact location of the no, I have to control F and find glyph. I just look at the map. Okay, there's another mural that I've walked past. Which is this way. Right. Let's fight this mural. Hello, big fish. Hold there. not random arrow shots. Power shot, please. And slip maybe. The tortoise never has a hand to spare, despite Zara giving Saint Zara giving them the hands in the first place, right? But yeah, rapidly commercializing. That is just and I gave that and that's with the tortoise people or the reptilian people. The only two that I'm having trouble with a little bit is the bird people and the tree folk. Like, out of all of the technologies and civics during the Renaissance era, the only two that are remaining are religious reform and the Enlightenment. And it's obvious that the ones that are going to come up with, that's a level 7 Aquan. The one that's going to come up with Enlightenment is going to be the, the bird people. Because they're going to be the ones who invent flight. Or rediscover flight for the people. But what would actually stop the advent of the Enlightenment? Or what would prevent that? One thing I thought of was that the idea of the Enlightenment was so prevalent during the... Oh, great. Was so prevalent was the idea that the individual, like what was characteristic of the Enlightenment was that a lot of individuals are becoming smarter.
Not even enough to work up an appetite.
People started drinking more coffee and consuming less alcohol. That was one thing. There was also a really interesting theory about the the Golden Age, because you know how Islam had a golden age. I think you probably didn't know, but Islam had a golden age when the Christianity was in their dark ages, right? And I think a lot of that was attributed to the outlawing of the consumption of alcohol and the prevalence of coffee as a fashionable drink. Coffee and tea in particular. And I think what happened was, in our reality, is that coffee houses are one of the main reasons where people used to, because water wasn't safe to drink. So the idea of consuming, and people used to consume beer to be able to drink safely, drink liquid safely. And when people started,
You could have bootlegger birds still trying to spread the selling of alcohol. A Prohibition-era style gang warfare with Enlightenment theme as well.
Ooh. Bootlegger birds. I love that. I love that. I love that kind of theme. Yep. I was also in the middle of but we have to actually consider how we get there. I think Alcoholic Birds, as fun as it sounds, I think would be like, how would birds get high? I mean, that pun was completely unintentional, and I apologize for it. No, I don't. I don't apologize for it. How do birds get high? Seriously. I was asking for it. But my original thought was something along the lines of something to do with their beliefs. Well, the first thought I came up with was that they didn't have names or something silly or basic like that. Because without names, they don't have any individualism and any sense of like personal growth. And for me, in the canon reason why they couldn't use magic very well was the fact that they have really short lifespans. And magic is the result of cultivating for a very long time. Cultivating, like for example, tree people will be extremely good at magic because they could cultivate for much longer than normal folk, and we could just shoehorn in some sort of connection. Way to go!
Oh, and in having such short lifespans, they wouldn't really even give each other names other than basic identifiers.
Yeah, that could be I mean, I want it to be something basic like that. But man, bootlegger birds would be such a nice little idea as well. That's gonna be one of the that's gonna probably be one of the things that kind of define the flavor of the avian adventure. I mean, it's already a different era, so we could have bootlegger birds and gangster birds. And what is at stake is the power of flight. Okay, save state here. And let's see what panels we get. Level 4 is very good. Not very good. Just keep getting fortune teller. Oh wow, I've went way over time than I usually used to. Okay. Red familiar is
They
nice.
indulged heavily in hedonistic values until the hero came and gave them invention and identity. With this, they strove to make names and things that would outlive themselves.
That makes sense with such short lifespans. Yep. Yeah, that would make sense. And that would also make sense why they're why they're so unconnected to their magic. And the interesting thing that would have come up would be how I think that would probably be the best one in terms of what is available. Why do you get aura of all things? A bunch of earth familiars is nice too, but we got an earth familiar here, and metal familiar, sharp eye here. I'm so tempted to just.
So it's the old world hedonism versus the new age strive for purpose and fame.
Yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds very cool. And that's cool that their values didn't really change that much, right? Giving them a name isn't like not even invention. Giving them just giving them a name, or the idea of names, is enough to give them to strive for purpose. And their gods could be the nameless one or something. That sounds pretty cool. That's that, yeah. And that would leave the tree people or the tree folk, which I'll use to. Well, I have to think about how religious reformation would work in terms of people who are probably already deeply spiritual because of their connection to nature. It could be a reform from good old animism or mysticism into something more concrete, like organized religion. But yeah, I'll have to think about
The
that.
idea of names made them wish to make those names mean something, which drove invention and innovation to leave stuff that could be tied to those names even after the inventor's passing.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's it. That's very yeah. Yeah. What was missing for me was how they would have lived their lives before if they didn't have names. Yep. And they would have lived in smaller communities as well. Or maybe like name and family names, because the advent of family names happened like naturally. Yeah, but it's such a basic thing though that you have to kind of wonder why it didn't happen naturally already, or maybe just because of their short lifespans being a thing. Anyways, I think I'm going to end things here for now. So one more thank you to my members. Thank you, Apilux, Rena Mantra, Sephiroth Bale, and Rafael Vega Chapa, as well as RL, or Remy, as I'd like to call. You guys support my channel financially, and you make things possible. So thanks for doing that. But anyways, if you want to support me in any other way, like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you want to see more, click on the bell to get notified for when I go live, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I am so glad to be back streaming Unlimited Saga, and we'll see each other soon. I know I'm talking a lot about my supposed game project, but it's pretty cool to be able to discuss it and give be kind of thankful that it's become a thing. If it does become a thing, make sure that I properly get a chance to either thank you or get you involved in the project mana, if it does happen, because a lot of these ideas also came from you. So I want to definitely get you credited and make sure you're recognized at the very least. But we'll see. It's a long way from then. But I just wanted to know, I really thank you for all the stuff that you're contributing. And hanging out. Yeah, but anyways, thanks folks. Thank you for being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm Biggie, and I'll be back. See you guys soon. Bye for now. Wait, that's not the end of my face cam.
Heh, that is flattering. You got a neat idea going, Biggie.
Yeah.
Have a good day, Biggie_Biggie support.
Okay. Yep, I picked the wrong face cam, didn't I? Yeah. It's the one without the chat. But okay. Thanks anyways, Mana. See you soon.